You think the scariest thing about war is the noise, the artillery, the screaming engines, the chaos. But you're wrong. The scariest thing about war is the silence. Imagine this. You're standing shoulder to shoulder with 3,000 men. You blink, and when you open your eyes, you are the only one left. No bodies, no blood, no footprints, just gone. We aren't talking about soldiers killed in action or taken prisoner. We are talking about entire battalions, massive ships, and elite pilots who entered the fog of war and literally never came out. Today, we are diving into the deep end of the unexplainable, the cases that make historians sweat and keep generals up at night. Welcome back. If you're new here, buckle up, because things are about to get weird. Now look, war is messy. We get that. People get lost. Paperwork gets burned. But there is a massive difference between missing in action and vanishing from the face of the earth. In military history, there are events that defy physics and logic. We're talking about massive groups of people disappearing in seconds. And sure, skeptics will say, oh, it was bad record keeping, or they deserted. But when you look at the details, those explanations just don't hold water. We are going to look at 3 specific cases today. One from the ocean, one from the ground, and one from the sky. And I want you to stick around for the last one, because it involves a fighter jet, a UFO, and a radar screen that showed something impossible. Let's start with the big one. Literally, World War I. Imagine a ship, not just a boat, but a floating steel mountain. The USS Cyclops. This thing was a beast, 500 feet long, carrying 306 crew members and thousands of tons of manganese ore. It's March 1918. The Cyclops leaves Barbados, heading for Baltimore. The weather? Totally fine. The captain? A bit of an eccentric guy, but experienced. The ship sends a simple message: weather fair, all well. And that was the last time anyone heard from them. Now usually when a ship sinks, it leaves a mess. You get oil slicks, you get lifeboats, you get debris floating for miles. When the Titanic went down, we knew where it was. But with the Cyclops, nothing. Not a bucket. Not a life vest. Not a single piece of wood. The US Navy launched a massive search. They scoured the ocean. And their official report is actually kind of chilling. They said, there has been no more baffling mystery in the annals of the Navy than the disappearance of this ship. Some people blame the Bermuda Triangle. Yeah, it went right through it. Others say a German U-boat got it. But here's the kicker. After the war, we checked the German logs. Every single U-boat captain kept meticulous records of their kills. The Cyclops? It wasn't in any of them. The Germans were just as confused as we were. So, a 500-foot steel giant just evaporated. All right, let's get out of the water and onto the ground. And this one? This one is controversial, but it is hands down one of the creepiest stories in military folklore. December 1939, the Second Sino-Japanese War. The Japanese army is advancing on the city of Nanjing. The Chinese colonel, Li Fuxin, stations nearly 3,000 troops to defend a strategic bridge over the Yangtze River. These are heavy reinforcements. They are dug in. They have heavy artillery. They are ready for a fight. The colonel goes to sleep in his headquarters, feeling pretty good about his defense line. The next morning, his aide wakes him up screaming. The colonel rushes to the defensive line, and it's empty. And I don't mean they ran away empty. I mean spooky empty. The heavy guns were still in place. The cooking fires were still warm. The rifles were stacked. But the men, 3,000 soldiers, vanished. Now, play devil's advocate with me. Could they have deserted? Maybe. But 3,000 men crossing a bridge? Without making a sound? Without the sentries seeing them? Without the Japanese army, who had the place surrounded? Noticing a massive army trying to sneak past? It's impossible. There were no tracks leading away. No signs of a struggle. No bodies. It was like the earth just opened up and swallowed an entire battalion. To this day, nobody knows where they went. Some theories get wild, hollow earth, mass abduction. But the reality is probably something darker that history just forgot to write down. Okay, I promised you the sky. And I promised you something that feels like an X-Files episode. Let's jump forward to 1953. The Cold War is freezing. Tensions are high. We are at Kinross Air Force Base in Michigan, right near Lake Superior. Suddenly, radar picks up an unidentified flying object. A bogey. It's moving fast, and it shouldn't be there. So, they scramble an F-89 Scorpion fighter jet. The pilot is Lieutenant Felix Moncla, and his radar operator is Lieutenant Robert Wilson. These are top-tier guys. Ground control is watching this on radar. They see the blip of the F-89 closing in on the UFO. Moncla is flying at 500 miles per hour. He closes the gap. Ground control watches the two blips on the screen. The F-89 gets closer, and then the two blips merge. They become one signal on the screen, and then the signal fades away. Ground control thinks, okay, maybe they collided. They send out search and rescue immediately. They scour Lake Superior. The water is clear. If a plane hits the water at 500 miles per hour, there is oil. There is metal. But they found nothing. And here is where it gets crazy. The official Air Force explanation changed multiple times. First, they said the pilot had vertigo and crashed. Then they said the UFO was actually a Canadian transport plane. But the Canadian government said, no, we didn't have any planes in that area. So you have a fighter jet that merged with an unknown object on radar and then ceased to exist. Did they crash? Did they get taken? Or did they fly into something else? War is chaos. We try to put it in boxes with maps and dates and casualty lists. But sometimes the chaos wins. Sometimes people don't just die. They disappear into the cracks of history. Whether it's the Cyclops, the Nanjing Battalion, or Felix Moncla, they are reminders that no matter how much technology we have, the world is still full of mysteries that we cannot solve. I want to hear from you guys. Which one of these creeps you out the most? Or do you have a theory about the Kinross Incident? Drop it in the comments below. I read all of them. If you dug this video, hit that like button. It really helps the channel. And subscribe for more stories from the dark side of history. Stay curious, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.